And there we are. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it happens to be where you are. It is that time for the AMAs, the Ask Me Anythings with Robert Hollis. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing day. Wow, wow, wow. Now, this is where you get the opportunity to ask a question of a certified multimillionaire. He's helped to create 67 millionaires over the 36 years that he has been involved in motivational speaking and in marketing. So, here's what you need to do to ask Robert a question. First of all, if you're on YouTube, just type your question in the chat. If you're on Zoom, type your question in the chat. Now, if you do want to ask, and what we will do is we will ask the questions on your behalf. But if you want to ask Robert a question personally, you need to be in Zoom. And if you're on Zoom, take your cursor, put it in the middle of the screen. On the bottom, you'll see a bunch of buttons that say, one of them in which says reactions. Click on the reactions button and then click on raise hand, and we will call on you. And then you can ask any question of Robert Hollis. That's how simple it is. If you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that like button. It's that one right there. And also hit the subscribe button so that if you're not subscribed to our channel, you will be notified when we do live videos. And in particular, please make sure that you click the bell icon when you click the subscribe button so you are updated every single time. Robert, a couple of things before I turn it over to you and all of the people that have our questions here. First of all, I loved the vibe of the day that Terry shared with us today. OMG. And I want to share it with everybody who is watching because it is a great motivation. The vibe of the day from Robert's wife, Terry Hollis, goes like this. You'll soon understand why your timing is perfect and why things had to happen the way it did to guide you to where you were meant to be. You will be celebrating and being so grateful. So, wow, what a great way to start this AMA. Now, I also have something special to share with everybody as we get started. So please, turn up the volume on your video and watch as we get things going. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Robert Hollis.
Craig, thank you so much. What an incredible surprise. Wow, that definitely filled my heart big time. So that's why Craig's the best MC that there ever was. So thank you very much, Craig. And for those of you that are seeing that video for the first time, I'm extremely honored and humbled, very humbled that chosen again to speak at the National Convention in Miami. So it's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. So yeah, it's exciting. It's great. So the only other thing I want to share with you guys is I've been getting an incredible comments from the YouTube lives that we're doing every day. I'm doing my very best to try to pinpoint exactly where the hangups are in people's minds. And you know, I know a lot of the inner circle members that I have got a chance to see me unload last Thursday night on the inner circle. And man, I have had people send me messages where some of them are actually crying while they're calling me and just going, okay, this is it, this is it. And all I can tell you without giving it away, it's something special for the inner circle people is if you've been hurt in the past, really, really crushed and hurt, that might stop you from mentally going all out or all in. And I'll give you a neat example. If you really put your head down and really built a small group and just gave everything you could to these people, I mean, you just give it all to them. And then one day they go, thank you, bye, I'm going someplace else. I think that some people don't want to realize just how heartbreaking that is, how traumatizing that is. Have any one of you ever put a lot of effort and enthusiasm and your best coaching and everything you can to help an individual, and then they don't even tell you that they're going, they're leaving, they're quitting? If you can't find a way to get over that, then why would you recruit anybody else? That might stop you from saying, you know what, I'm just going to keep doing it. So without getting into any deep details, why would we take it so personally? Where did that programming come from? Because the right perspective, in my opinion, is if you looked at the rest of your life, it's just bizarre how these people come in and out of your life for a season. And instead of thinking that they did something to you, why can't you be grateful and appreciative for the moments that you had with them? Just, anybody here have anybody come in and out of their life? So you could not be all that you can be and give to those that are in your life for the minutes or sometimes milliseconds that they seem that they are. Or you could say, nah, that trauma hurt me. You don't know what they did to me. You don't understand. And so then what you do is you just seclude yourself and you don't give to anybody. So one more last statement I'll say, because this just blew me away. I'm mad at myself for not knowing this actor's name, but he's just as big as Morgan Freeman or Denzel Washington. I've seen this black actor in a lot of films. And so they asked him, what was the best piece of information you ever gotten? And he said, in one of the darkest moments of my life, when I just was really thinking, why am I doing all this? This is just stupid. I'm going to acting classes. I'm sleeping in my car. I'm doing all these auditions and nobody gives a rip. I don't even know why I'm doing this. And he said, that's what I was thinking constantly. Why am I doing this? This is not worth it. I don't want to do this. I'm not good at this. And he said, someone said to him one time, hey, listen, you know what makes the difference between the people that are successful and fulfilled and the ones that aren't? And he goes, what? And he says, consistently doing all they can do. And I went, what? And he goes, can you honestly say that you've done all you can do? Can you honestly say that you couldn't do more? And I went, I'm going to outwork everyone. He said his paradigm immediately shifted. And he says, if everybody just says that you got to put the time in to just be the best you can be to master this, I'm going to do it. And he says 2 weeks later, he got his first job. So do you think his mindset and attitude and energy and vortex, everything else you want to talk about it. Because how many people have had a job in their life and you always see this person that also is working with you, and it's like that song, I'm going to whistle as I work, they're just like, it immediately reminds me of that video you guys all seen where, that one guy, he said he got up in the morning. He's living in a trailer house. He's got no money and he's living paycheck to paycheck. So he gets up in the morning to go to work and his truck doesn't start. So he grabs a skateboard and he's going down the on-ramp on the freeway. And he's doing a YouTube video or a TikTok video or whatever. And he's singing the Fleetwood Mac. And everybody's like, I don't remember. Wasn't he drinking like a Gatorade or something? I forget what company he was drinking their drink, right? And the next thing you know is that company gives him a brand new pickup full of Gatorade. The next thing you know, he's being Ocean Spray. Good. Thank you, Arthur. The next thing you hear, he's on Snoop Dogg's podcast. Someone does a GoFundMe page for him. And it's like, wow, that one decision, because every one of us has been in a situation where, the vehicle wouldn't start. We're already late for whatever it is. Maybe a flat tire, or maybe miss a bus or something, you know what I mean? And that should be the moment where you just say, F this, man, I'm done. I am done. And then the other people are like, go get my skateboard. Might as well whistle as I work. And I just want all of you to know that people ask me all the time. I did a video this week called Ignorance on Fire. And if you guys really want to know my success, that's who I am. That's I have the ability to get up in the morning and do my morning routine, click on Ignorance on Fire, and just be the best that I can be that day. And so I had a person, I'm not going to say his name, but he's known me for a long time. Very successful network marketer in another company. And he said, Robert, he said, I went and looked at a couple of your last YouTube videos. I swear to you that when you mentored me, you wasn't even close to this good. And I was like, really? He goes, my God, you've taken everything that you taught me and taken it to a different level. And I went, very well done, good and faithful servant. Yeah, just keep getting gooder and gooder and gooder. So with that, I do have something to share with you guys. This is some things that are going to be launched on the 15th, and Josh has been working really hard on them, and I'm blown away. This is going to really simplify everything. It's going to take all the confusion out of everything. You guys have heard confused people do nothing. And this is really gonna change everyone's mentality on how to do this. So there's my little tease. Craig, go on to you.
Oh, I hope everybody got that tease. Lots of exciting things are happening, and thank you so very much, Robert, for that great message to start us off. And I also want to share that if you like this video, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up button, that like button. And because of you, we are spreading the word. Got to give it out to each and every one of you watching and each and every one of you who have subscribed. We are now, as of the start of this broadcast, up to 6,106 subscribers. Wow. And
Crazy.
Growing because of you, each and every one of you.
Thank you.
High five to each and every one of you. No, high 10, big 10. Thank
Whoa.
you guys so very much. Bless you and thank you for helping us spread the word because we couldn't do it without you. We really couldn't. All right. So I see we've got hands going up. So this is going to be good. Also got a question from the chat. Unless a certain individual who asked the question from the chat wants to ask Robert personally, because I know he's now on Zoom. But I'll find out about that in just a few minutes. But right now, we've got John Tier and James Saunders with their hands up. John Tier, let's get this amazing session going. Please go ahead, open up and share, ask your question.
All righty. Robert, what an amazing tease. You know, I was trying to get real close to try to see what that was. He's like, see?
People are going to go back and say, where's the recording and zoom in on it.
He's like, yeah, this is what's coming. You know, it's like a magician's hand, you know. Man, Robert, I really appreciate, you know what? I appreciate your realness. You know, I appreciate that you tell it like it is, the ups and the downs, the good and the not so good. I really appreciate that because most people only tell the good part.
Right.
They don't tell you, you know, what really is. And last night, for some reason, the enemy attacked me and I was having a little bit of a pity party, you know, and maybe because I've been in such a great pursuit.
No doubt.
Yeah. So this morning when I woke up, I said, you know what? I started quoting scriptures. You know, he is greater than me than he is in the world. You know, all things are possible through Christ. I just started quoting scriptures. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of all this stuff. I'm tired of people trying to tell me, well, you know, maybe you should do this. You know what? You know what that means. Yeah. Bump all that noise. I'm focused on what I need to be focused on. This is what I feel is the will of God for me. And this is what I'm doing. So all, if you want to support me, if you really want to tell me something, help me, be a customer. That's what you can do. Be a customer. You know, buy something or hit the road, Jack. You know, and so I'm really excited. I was a little late getting on here because I was kind of going down a list I had of asking for favors. I had about 15 people. I was just going down a list. You know, because I have to do things in kind of sequential order. You know, I
Sure.
make my connections because I have so many people I'm talking to. So I make my connections and then I give out my gifts and then I ask for the favors. And sometimes they may take a couple of days in between because there's so many people that I'm dealing with.
Just do your best, man.
And the one thing, you know, the other day I heard Lisa Marie, she was talking about how she was kind of skeptical about, you know, asking, you know, would people basically send out a link to her, you know, the affiliate link.
Right.
And so I was kind of feeling that way too, based on, I know how we are as African Americans. So, and I know we don't always trust each other. So what I did is, as you say, use your instinct and what the Spirit said. What I did was I said, you know what, I'm going to keep this really short and brief and ask them for the favor of just watching the video. And then after they say yes, then I say, since you are watching the video, then I go ahead and include the link as well, because it's in for a penny, in for a pound. And I know once a person has a yes mentality already, it's really easy for them to continue to say yes. So I started doing it like that, and I'm getting much better results because people are not feeling like they've got to do another commitment. Like, okay, I've got to do this too. No, just watch this video. It's less than 10 minutes. That's kind of how I present it to them. And they say, oh yeah, sure, send the video. And then after I send it, I said, by the way, you know, you can open up a free account just like you talked about in the video, and just like you did with Facebook. And when that'll make you comfortable. You can check out the whole company, and that'll make you comfortable. And when you're ready, you know, you can refer 1 or 2 people to us.
Very good.
Yeah. So that's my win.
Thank you for sharing that, John. What I think is really funny is I've had Katie and a few other people that have reached out to me, Katie Saunders, and she's going, she's been sending me messages now from people that she's been giving the gift to. And the messages are just so heartfelt, you know, where people are like, you know, I can't tell you what this what this little gift did for me. I thank you. You know, there, so because I think we all realize that, you know, sometimes when we get caught up in our own mind, you know, it's like Mr. Rogers says, you know, every time that you're feeling down, you know, look for the helpers. Look for the helpers. You know, there's because there's always the helpers out there. And yeah, and so John, I know I've shared this with you, but I put in the link Washed by the Words, which is my sort of secret weapon for learning scriptures. And you know, I've just never seen anybody rattle them off faster than this guy. So you guys can use those. And yeah, when you're John, I'll say one other thing that I think is funny is it'd be neat to ask a large group of people if they talk to themselves
all the time.
Well, I think that you know, I want to believe that a majority of the people do talk to themselves. And if they do, then why aren't they saying the right things?
You know, it reminds me of a book that I read that actually helped me snap out of some of that. It's by Chad Helmstetler. It says, what to say to yourself, when you talk to yourself, what to say to yourself, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was a great book that had me, it did an exercise and it said, just write down what you say to yourself, you know, all day long, and then read it back. And when I did that, I was like, well, that's not true. And that's not true either. You know? So it made me very conscious of the kinds of things, you know, watch what you say to yourself. Sometimes the enemy is shooting fiery darts, and I have to say, you know what, that's not true. That's not true. What is true is this. This is what's true.
And you know, I know that, I hope this helps people. You know, one of the things, and going through a bunch of different religions, because of going through foster families. And when I tell people this, sometimes they freak out a little bit. So, you know, one family was a Southern Baptist. One family was a Catholicism. They went to mass every Wednesday and Sunday. And then another family was American Indian. So they have they're like Hindus. They had the sun god, the water god, the ground god, Mother Earth. And so you go through a bunch of these different religions and a different belief of what they're doing, right? And the one thing that every religion that I've ever looked at talks about is that words are things. So regardless of the creator that you believe in, it's always amazing that they get to say, you know, let there be light. And then there was light. And so one of the things that I've learned is that I have the voices that are going off in the head. You know, they're talking to me. And then I learned to speak out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And when you speak out loud, then the little voices shut up in their head to hear what you're talking about. So in the thought of compounding thought and compounding bad thought and compounding bad thought and compounding bad thought, when we were kids, and you see very young kids, their imagination on a positive is compound on imagination, compound on imagination, compound on imagination. So, you know, somewhere along the road, we were told, you know, that we were not supposed to talk to yourself because you're crazy. Right. And then also you're not supposed to pretend on imaginary friends. You know, that could get you locked up in a rubber room. And you know, we are always worried about what other people think about us, you know? And so, you know, all of a sudden I just went, you know what, I'm gonna rebuke them just like you. And so when I got a little older, I'll never forget, there was a person that said to me, do you ask for forgiveness for the wrong that you do? And I said, yeah. And he says, then you're forgiven. So will you stop bringing it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you know, why spend all day, every day talking about how much of a loser you are and how much of a sinner you are and how undeserving you are? And then the other one time is I was with a group, I don't remember what it was, but they were really, really good at I don't want to call out the religion, but there's places that I've been in my life, John, where I'm like walking on who's playing. Okay, hang on, you guys.
I got it covered.
Good. You want to mute them all?
Everybody should be muted, except you guys.
All right. I'm gonna do my little trick anyway and ask John to redo
There we
it.
go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I don't know that song, so I don't know if it was good or bad. So what perfect timing. Did you guys hear what we're talking about? That all of a sudden this thing comes out of nowhere. Distraction.
Yeah. That's how you know. That's how you know you're on the right track.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you know you're on the right track, because whatever is the spirit was going to tell you to say, the enemy's like, oh no, I want that out there,
Yeah.
But I still receive it anyway.
Amen. So there's and what the outside forces didn't want me to remember to say to you is that regardless of your belief, if you can't find a way to believe in your mind that the war's already won,
yeah,
we're already victors.
Yes,
we go from victory to victory to victory to victory. So on a spiritual level, if people don't understand that, let me tell you how our thoughts rob us for everything, and it steals the joy immediately. Is all of a sudden you're in a relationship with somebody and they don't call, and then your mind goes, what is going on? What why aren't they calling? Are they hurt? Did something happen to them? Maybe they're breaking up with me. Maybe they're cheating on me. That's that is it going off on you. So I'll never forget one time where a person said to me, listen, you're not fighting a war. It's already been fought for you. You're already a winner. But if you don't use your words, declare victory. So, because I remember the religion that I was listening to, John, and they were just saying, man, the devil's attacking me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I'm in a spiritual warfare. And I'm going like, really? That was one of those things I'm going, that was not my interpretation of reading the New Testament. I don't know why my creator would want me to fight against a war against something that's supposedly supposed to be stronger than me. That I have no shot against. And that's when so we're having someone hack us.
That's what it looks like.